All right, so now that the closing is fast approaching, we will help you prepare for this process. The week before closing can be stressful as you're getting ready to close, move, take possession. Knowing what happens in the days leading up to this process can reduce some of the stress that you may encounter. Right? It can also help to ensure a smooth transaction. We're here to help you through this. Don't worry, we've got you. Now, here's what you can do, a few things that you can do before closing. We just talked about this. One is be wire safe. Remember that wire fraud is real. Since we already went over this in better detail in the previous video, this is just another reminder just not to let your guard down at this point. Be wire safe. All right, settlement. Your mortgage lender will send you a closing disclosure, or a CD, it's called. This disclosure needs to be signed at least 3 days prior to your closing, or it could delay the day of closing itself. So be sure to, when you receive your closing disclosure, your CD, to review it and sign it on time. Okay? Among other things, this disclosure is going to show you how much you need to pay for your down payment and your closing costs. Now, we're going to have you arrange for transferring funds. If you are transferring funds, you'll need to make sure that you arrange for a wire, or bring a cashier's check in the amount stated on the disclosure. So when you receive your closing disclosure or your settlement statement, it's going to say how much you need to bring to closing to complete your transaction. And then, of course, your lender also makes a wire transfer and makes up for the rest of that amount that you owe. So if you're bringing a check, we need to make sure who it's made out to, and make sure that the title company is okay taking a check rather than having money wired to them. And again, we're going to confirm with your lender prior to taking any action. All right, another thing that may happen in the week leading up to closing is underwriting. In some cases, last-minute underwriting issues might also be resolved that same week, right? So you may hear your lender, your mortgage person, tell you that we're back in underwriting, and they're just basically dotting all I's and crossing all T's, making sure that the file that they have on you looks great. But that may be happening, so communication is still key to maintain throughout that last week prior to closing. All right, don't forget about packing and moving. Have you finished packing yet? Have you even started? Right, you don't want to miss your possession deadline. Also, be sure that you've made arrangements for moving. Now, if you need recommendations on people to work with, be sure to ask us. But this is the time when you start really getting ready. It starts to really take shape, like, oh, okay, wow, we're finally doing this, we're moving, you're putting your boxes together. Maybe you're recruiting friends or you're hiring a moving company. Make sure you get that arrangement taken care of during that final week prior to closing. All right, we mentioned this a little bit before, but this is a great time to get ahead of all the hustle and bustle of the moving and closing week. Our transaction coordinator is going to send you a list of utilities and service providers if he hasn't already. Now, water and sewer will be transferred into your name by the title company. However, you may want to get all the other services and utilities set up now in anticipation of taking possession, so that you don't miss a beat. You want to make sure the lights are on and the heat's on when you move in. Also, don't forget to do a change of address with the U.S. Postal Service, and we will provide a website that's easy to find and easy to do. We want you to make sure you stay in touch during this time, right? This is not a good time to go on vacation and not be available in case there's any last-minute issues that need to be taken care of. Your lender, your title closer, and we at the Altitude Group are all here to answer your questions that you have related to the closing process. Just be proactive. Make sure that you're in communication with us. Ask if there's anything else needed. Ask us to clarify if there's anything else that remains a question in your mind. We're here for you.